not too far away from the start of the 2024 USL Championship season. And hey, we got some fun news today with a kit leak, or not a leak, a reveal. And I'm sure we're all excited about that. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about more. Let's get into this. Welcome to the Podcast of Champions. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. How's it going, Orange County? Welcome to another episode of the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, the first and only podcast dedicated to Orange County Soccer Club, its fans, and supporters. I'm your host, Ray Samora. I'm here to take you through the journey as we discuss all things Orange County Soccer Club. Helping me out for this episode first, the original partner on this show, that's Mr. Dylan. Dylan, how excited are we that the season is quickly approaching?
Massively. It's in the last, I think, week and a half kind of hit that actual games that matter are coming up very quickly, and I'm buzzing at it. I can't wait to get started.
Dylan will be hosting all the fans traveling up to Sacramento, right?
Yeah. So I guess that breaks the news to everybody. I live in the capital of the fifth largest economy in the world now.
Well, sorry I stole that thunder from you, Dylan.
That's okay. Now people can find me again. And I say I'm excited to get started like I have anything to do with the success that is to come this year.
There we go.
Wow.
Also helping out on this episode, we've got Mr. Brad. Brad, second episode of the season. How are we feeling? Are we getting more and more excited as we approach the season start?
I would like to confirm that I still not pulled a Brad this season. Only at the beginning of the second episode, but I remembered to unmute my microphone just now. I'm doing fantastic. We're 11 calendar days away from the season opener, March 9th. So that's crazy.
It is very crazy. This I think approached quicker than I know it, especially me, but I'm sure most of us. I think this is really approaching quicker than we thought. So I think we're all starting to get really excited here. I have one other person that's helping us out for this episode, and that's a member from our writing team back. I mean, 2 episodes this season, 2 episodes he's on our show. Maybe he's now officially part of the podcast, the on-air talent. That's Mr. DK Jenks. DK, how are we doing?
Doing well. Being back 2 weeks in a row for the podcast, I think just shows how excited I am for the season. I'm at a point where anytime that I can talk about this club, I'm here for it. So,
and that's the reason most of us do this anyways, is because we just want to be able to talk about Orange County and Orange County Soccer Club and soccer in general. So that's why we do this. So we're going to get into this. It's been a busy week for Orange County with their preseason. There's been some results as of late. There's some results, matches that are coming up, but we got to get into the big news, right? The big thing that happened today with the reveal of a new kit. I'm sorry if we were planning a different order, but I had to jump on this because this is probably the most exciting news of the week for Orange County Soccer Club fans. Not only is it a kit reveal, it's the first kit that's been revealed with this partnership now with Hummel, but it is a specific kit or a special kit that is for the Open Cup that the team will wear during their matches where they're participating in the Open Cup. A couple things that come out of this when you hear that statement, you see that they're releasing a Open Cup kit, is they're taking the Open Cup seriously. I think they are hoping and want to make a deeper run than they have in the past. I know in communications that many of us have had with members of the club, this is an emphasis for the club this year. The Open Cup is going to be something that they want to really, really make a deep run. And that comes all the way from the top with owner James Keston. And so that's exciting. And the fact that they release a specific kit for it, that is proof that this is an important thing for them. But let's just talk about the design. Who cares that it's a special kit? The design. Dylan, are you loving the design? Are you a little bit on the mess side of the design? What is your thoughts of this first kit reveal for Orange County this year?
I kind of like the throwback to the stripes, which is when I started following this club. I do I do want to preface this by saying that I generally don't like most kits that are released. This one is going to grow on me. I think part of the thing that right now is making me a little adverse to it is the fact that this is just it's a mock-up. Mostly I'm excited to see this in person. I'm excited to see something that is unique to the club and unique really to, I think, US soccer, because orange is already a pretty rare color, and certainly stripes are, since we'll probably see a team that'll just wear a white t-shirt at some point during the tournament this season.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Still in the mock-up stage, we're not seeing a live kit. This is not a real picture. This is, an AI or a photoshopped or whatever, or what is it? Adobe Illustrator, probably whatever tool is used for the design aspect of this. But if it comes out pretty much what we're seeing on this, it's exciting, at least in my opinion. Brad, thoughts on this kit release or review?
Yeah. So my thoughts about this is, first of all, Hummel is coming to play. This isn't like your typical Adidas where this is like a generic design. There's a story in it. There's details in it. Inside the back of the neck, it says the magic of the cup. Sure, this might be a one-off. This might be a 2-3 off, for just the Lamar Open Cup. But if this is what they're gonna do for a one-off, a two-off, you have to think they're taking this seriously. They're trying to tell a story. Adidas wasn't doing that. And I believe better soccer sleuths than me have figured out that this is an homage to the 1914 champions, but those better soccer sleuths say that this is actually the runners-up in the 1914 Lamar Hunt Open Cup. But, I mean, take it seriously. It's a good-looking kit.
I think it looks really clean, which is really nice. The cleanliness of this look, it's awesome. DK, your thoughts on this kit? And I want you to throw in also your thoughts on the crest. It's a little bit of a different look for the crest for the team, correct?
Yeah, that was one of the things that I first noticed was the change of the crest shape. I actually really like it. I think our crest is okay as it is. It's not my favorite crest that I've seen, but it's decent. But I like the change up in this. I like the circle. I think it's pretty awesome. And other than just the design of the kit overall, which I do think looks really, really clean, makes me excited for what we're going to see the home and away kit is going to be. But I think the timing of all of this is just perfect from the club, with all of the Open Cup controversy that's going on right now. There was even rumors of USL teams that, due to that controversy, didn't want to play either. And this is Orange County coming out before anybody and just saying, no, we love the cup. This is important to us, so much so that we're going to have a specific kit made for the cup. And I think that does some amazing things for the league and for our club. So it got me really excited.
Let me ask you, Dylan, you've sent invoices into the club for past work that you've done with them. Where do we send our invoice? Because it looks very similar to our podcast logo, in my opinion, at least the layout, correct?
Does it? I mean, I think if you have a roundel, what can you really do, right? I always thought that the roundel actually came first when Orange County was trying to do some lifestyle stuff back in 2018. I do want to say the one kit that I've loved at the mock-up stage was the Orange Black Soccer Cast kit that way back in 2020 never even got made, just covered in a bunch of juicy oranges. Maybe that's what we should wear next year.
We were doing some mock-ups for that, but we never got around to that design.
Yeah, we've done heather, as you can see. We're doing stripes. I'm excited for polka dots. That's the next evolution.
Polka dots. Brad, if we come up with a polka dot kit, are you buying it? I mean, Orange County, not the podcast, Orange County.
I would have to weigh my options on the non-polka dot kits before I commit to one, but I have told myself I'm probably getting a kit this year because I do like Hummel.
Awesome. DK, I'm going to let you give your grade for this kit. Obviously, we don't know what the other kits are going to look like from Orange County, but give sort of your grade. Let's do a schoolyard grade, a elementary school or middle school grade on the kit. What do you think? You get to be the official grader for the podcast.
My initial reaction is an A-. I think it's really great. It's a classic look, celebrating a classic cup. You got the stripes, you got the cup logo right in the center, which I think is amazing. And the only reason that I would say it's an A- instead of maybe a little bit higher is because what this kit does for me is it makes me excited for what Hummel will do for us moving forward for the rest of our kits this season. So I feel and I hope that they're going to be kits that I provide like an A+ or an A2. So for now, this one just sits right at an A-.
Awesome. And then Dylan, I'm going to give you one last question on this whole kit thing. You have an option right now. You either buy this kit or you have to buy whatever other kit they release in the future, but then you no longer can buy this kit. What are you doing?
Well, wow.
You don't know what the other kits look like, so you're risking it if you go for those.
I think this is a grab as one, as a specialty kit. Kind of add it to the closet full of kits already that, this is going to be separate. This is going to be very different and distinct. I kind of want to celebrate that a little bit. I know I'm not super hot on it, but again, this is going to look I think this is going to look really good in real life.
I think it will look really good in real life. So exciting news, and we can't wait to see what comes out of the kits, the other kits that will be released here, hopefully in the near future. But I can tell you, I'm stoked. This got me really excited for the kits that the team is releasing, and I may have to definitely drop some money on a kit this upcoming season, and maybe go for 2.
Ooh, I won't tell your wife. Don't worry.
You won't tell her? Okay, that's perfect, Dylan.
Yeah.
I think you know what? It's Father's Day gift, birthday gift.
She'll find out when you are wearing it anyway, because every time I see you, you're wearing at least one Orange County item. You make me look like I don't care about this club.
I try to show off the club while we're out and about. I want people to see it. By the way, Dylan, when we meet up for karaoke sometime, we're going to sing County Roads. We're just going to ask them to do Country Roads, but we'll change the lyrics and we'll sing it.
I would expect nothing less. You better learn all the words.
For those listening, either live or when you listen when the in podcast format comes out, share your thoughts on what you think of the kit. Do you like them? Are you disappointed? Are you excited? Are you going to buy this new kit once it's available for sale? Let us know your thoughts on that. Oh, and while we're there, I'm asking for stuff. Make sure you like our podcast, share our podcast in whatever format you're doing so as well, so we can get this spread out to more people that want to hear. What are we doing? Apparently, Dylan's in the back chat saying we're in mid-season nonsense already. Nonsense form. I don't get it. I do not get it, Dylan. Is this nonsense? Brad's cracking up like this is nonsense. Let's talk about the soccer matches. Brad, you get to go first. Since you're just so excited about that comment, tell us about the recent soccer matches for Orange County.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I wasn't there, but I did come prepared. 2 0-0 draws. The first was against the Vancouver Whitecaps. Go check that out. They have a Twitter post about who was playing. I don't know any of the names because I don't follow ML$. And then the second game was against Phoenix. Phoenix didn't really announce anything about this game. I think it was a pure closed door, and this was more a trialist squad from Orange County. And sorry, I said 0-0. This one was 2-0. Orange County won that game with, I couldn't even tell you who the goals were from.
Important thing is they happened, and we beat Phoenix.
The magic of the preseason is sometimes you have information, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you have access to see the matches, sometimes you don't. And in this case, really, we had to go based off of whatever was being shared on social medias for these, because unfortunately, although we're spread out in Vegas, in Sacramento, here in Orange County, we don't have anyone that is based out of Phoenix that could maybe sneak into a match in Phoenix. I don't know if that was even played in Phoenix, though, so who knows?
It was. There was an attempt, and the sporting director from Phoenix said no one is allowed in, including friends and family.
Look at that. Dylan with the insider information there. DK, do you know any information? Did you get any insider information or any leaks your way about either of these matches, or who was the star or anything? Did you hear anything about these matches?
Well, I think luckily Orange County does usually post some updates in regards of the preseason matches. So at least for the Phoenix match, I see Edison was in chat as well, but that Ben Barjolo and Bryce Jamison were the ones who got the goals against Phoenix, which is really awesome to see. Our youth players stepping up. One of the elements that the CLC meetup this last weekend that was talked about from those who have been to the home preseason matches and seen some stuff outside the gates is a highlight of Ben Barjolo, who apparently has just been impressing fans left and right with his incredible pace and drive. So hopefully we get to see a lot more of him in the actual season. Stepping up to first team play and maybe getting some score or goals.
So then this is, I mean, they're very similar in age, right? Ben Barjolo, Bryce Jamison, very similar in age, but we already sort of know what we get out of Bryce Jamison. I don't know, for those that have maybe seen some of the action, is he sort of like a like Bryce Jamison 2.0, or sort of in that same look? I guess DK, you're the one that's probably seen anything out of him in the preseason, because you've sort of paid attention to some of the preseason stuff. From what you've seen out of him, is that the mold that he sort of fits, is sort of that Bryce Jamison type player, or is he something different?
Yeah, I mean, I think both of them do really well on the wing. Bryce Jamison for sure is a winger and does really great at that. Barjolo, I could kind of see fitting into a number 9 slot, just with his goal scoring ability as well as incredible pace. So he's somebody that could remind me a lot of Damas, where we can kick it past the defensive line. He can get there, stay on side, and go in for a goal. So it's really exciting just to see where his career blossoms. I believe he's 16, 17. So still got a couple of years to really let that grow. And it'll be really interesting to see what comes of it. Perfect.
And Thrill and Dylan, what are your thoughts on what we have coming up with Ben Barjolo? Are you excited that we have another young player, like DK saying, can fit into that maybe Ronaldo Damas type role, or if we go back even further, maybe what we saw from Vinicius when he made appearances for the club? What are your thoughts with what you've heard out of Ben, and are you excited?
I am, yeah. Obviously, I haven't been able to see him in person. Been a few hundred miles away this whole time, but I think the biggest thing is finding players, like he said, with that drive, where that's ultimately the part of what makes them professional. Plenty of kids have come here with talent. I won't name names. Maybe they don't have that drive to just reach that next level, or maybe they realize, hey, this is fun, but this isn't something I actually want to do professionally. Something else is more appealing, and I can kind of grow from there. But to be from a skill side of thing or from a tactical side of thing, I think being direct and taking players on in this league is massive. Typically, I mean, big name players are always going to be attackers. If you think of big name defenders, it's typically for their attacking play. Roberto Carlos or Marcelo, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Obviously these are fullbacks, but the ability to get at a player and hopefully turn them inside out. If you're a half a step faster than everybody else, that's what excites me. That's what excites me to see him for, hopefully the next, I want to say year and a half, because he's only 17 and just turned 17 9 days ago. I hope we get to see a good 18 months out of him. He can follow in the footsteps of Caridi, of Kobe Henry. And in the meantime, we get to hopefully see some incredible play in the meantime.
Let me go to you, Rad Brad. Let's talk about what we see out of Orange County. Orange County does a really good job of really balancing really quality veteran, experienced players and bringing in these youngsters. Let's talk about the youngsters, right? Because obviously we've seen some succeed, we've seen some fail with Orange County, and even when they move past Orange County. what is the benefit of investing in these youngsters for a team? It's sort of that low risk, high reward opportunity because you don't invest a lot of money. But what else do you see of the benefits of going after these youngsters? And it seems like Orange County has become a spot for some youngsters to really want to come and shine. What's the benefit of it in your mind?
I mean, let's start off with the blatantly obvious 7-figure, incentives. You have players that are going overseas. Orange County sent out, gosh, I can't remember names off the top of my head. Last year to France for 7 figures. But beyond that, you're right. It is kind of you find these kids central, and I'm spending a little bit of time because I know Clemson just sent like half a dozen players to the ML dollar sign in the USLs of the world. And it's interesting because there is a lot of young talent that's out there to be discovered. And if you find one, you don't have to be 100%, but even 1 out of every 4, if you're right on 1 out of every 4, that player gets signed. And if they do well beyond, and 1 out of every 4 of those players beyond, you get resell on down the line investments every time a player gets resold. So obviously there's the doing good in the community and building up soccer and investing in the next generation, but there's also a financial incentive to do so. And the name I was thinking of was Kobe Henry. I don't know why I couldn't remember Kobe.
I if you wouldn't have said it at the end of that, I would have just reminded you it was Kobe Henry. That's who you were thinking of right there. DK, do you like this approach that Orange County does of mixing it up? Because obviously we see some teams that focus more, most of the roster is just sort of a veteran experienced roster. And there's some teams you'll see where they're just signing whoever they can get, youngsters, and hoping it works out, or maybe just working more as a developmental side. Do you like Orange County's approach in how they've done this and sort of balanced out this roster?
Oh, completely. I mean, I've been a fan for forever, but it's one of the reasons that my passion for this club has grown so much within the past 5 years is because of our focus on the youth development. And while at the same time still aiming for trophies, we're not only focused on the youth. We have that great mix of veterans and youth players, which I think is beneficial to both sides. I mean, even last week when we were talking to Seth, and he was talking about playing with young guys and how that pushes him forward as well. I think it's really fantastic. And not only just for our club to see this youth development, but also for the development of American soccer. It's amazing. We've positioned ourselves in a place where players want to come to us because they know that we can push them forward to greater heights. I think you see that when talking to even players that came on this season, like Cameron Dunbar, Ethan Zubak, Sofiane Jafal. All of them came here because they expect and hope for a push forward. And the model that Orange County has done provides that.
Yeah, that's one thing that really excites me when you see what this club has done. They've created a proven track record of what they'll do with players that come to the club. Whether it's a player that maybe just it didn't work right for them at the MLS level, so they come to a team like Orange County, rebuild their career, move on to something big in Europe, or a young player, because we've seen a lot of young players that the club has signed that come from MLS academy teams. I believe a couple of the players have come from the Barca Academy in Arizona to join Orange County. These are players that are looking at what we have and what we've done to move players on. And they're seeing, if I want that opportunity, this is an amazing place to go to be able to redefine my career or start my career. And I will have an opportunity, if I prove myself, to move on to those great places. Yes, I said Barca instead of Barca. But it is what it is. I'm flustered. All right. I came to do this show. I jumped on and all my wiring was messed up because my son was down here right before I came onto the podcast. So I was just rushing to try and build this.
These are the excuses that Orange County youth players know. Hey, if I show up to training and I give this, or hey, if I make the match to 18 and I try to tell anybody this, I'm not going to make it. But if they come in hungry and they work hard, then they know this is a club that's going to say, thank you for your efforts. Let's move you on.
Let's see how correct.
To any young players watching, don't do what this one does.
Don't do what I do. Let's make sure that Dylan's correct on this, because we actually do have someone that trains with Orange County. That's part of Orange County, and that has experienced sort of in a personal level, because a relative of his has gone through this aspect of coming to Orange County and moving on to another opportunity. And this one is out in Europe, but we're going to talk to him. This is Mr. Brian Iloski from your Orange County Soccer Club. Brian, welcome back to our show. How's everything been for you this offseason, and how's the preseason going?
Thanks for having me on, guys. Good to be back. Yeah, good offseason. Got married, so that was great. And then, preseason's been good. Long but good. We're finally nearing the end, getting to the exciting stuff. So, yeah.
So, congratulations on the marriage. Hopefully, you've been enjoying that during your off season, and are ready for this season now. I get it. I've been through that marriage thing. This is a long time ago, but I know how exciting and how wonderful that experience is. So, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Really quick. Let's talk about this before we get into the team as it is now. Let's talk about what has happened with your brother. He played with Orange County for a couple of years. He's now moving to Europe. Have you spoken to him at all? What has his experience been like out there with his new team?
Yeah, he's been out there now for probably a couple months, or maybe about a month. They had preseason in San Diego, so that was nice. I got to see him play against Galaxy, so that was pretty cool. And then, it's a lot different in Europe, and he's experiencing that now. And it's not just going to a place and playing soccer. You're moving your whole life there, so just different kind of lifestyle, different living, and yeah, he's close with Daniel Peterson, who's lives 5 minutes from him right now, so. Got a friend out there already, so that's been nice.
And, that's a good perk to have. That to have someone at least that in this new strange country. At least he has someone he can rely on for help if he doesn't understand something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So the last 2 seasons you all have played together with Orange County, so this is going to be different for you as well. This is first time in a couple of years that you don't have your brother there with you. Is it a little sad, a little nerve-wracking, or are you just focused and it doesn't matter if he's with you or not for the season? You're ready to head into the season with the roster you got and the teammates you have?
No, I got over the sadness pretty quickly, but now I'm happy for him that he's moved on and playing in Europe, which is a huge deal. So I'm happy for him and ready to get the season started with the guys we have. So I'm really excited for the season.
Yeah, and I just want to say, for anyone that is listening or watching us live, if you have any questions for Brian, feel free to throw them in the chats. If we get an opportunity, we will ask those questions. Let me ask you, there's been a lot of incoming players. There was a lot of retention of players, which I think probably you even realize is pretty amazing for this team to have so many key players returning. But you also brought in a lot of key outside players that are joining this team. What have you noticed from some of the new players that are joining in, and how are they fitting in with the mesh that seems to be such a great chemistry from last season?
Yeah, it's probably the most returners that I've seen Orange County bring back since I've been here. So it's nice to have a good core group of guys returning. And then I think I don't know how many additions exactly, but they've been great. It's been nice to implement them into our system and get them not caught up, but just get them to know the system and integrate their skills in the system, which has been great. And I could go through them specifically, each individual, but looking forward to playing with some of the same guys from last season, and then obviously the new guys that we brought in for this year.
Just to ask about you, because I feel like we've asked about everyone else that isn't Brian Iloski so far. 5th year with the club this year. I believe you're right on the cusp of a few shy of 100 appearances for Orange County. What keeps you coming back, Brian?
Just love playing the game close to home, and really comfortable playing in Orange County. I heard if I play enough games, I'll break the Orange County most appearances record. So I don't know how accurate that is. That's just what I heard through. I think Seth told me that actually. I'm like right ahead of Seth.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I think you've managed beyond the obvious team goal this year of probably bringing home the cup for the second time. What are you personally trying to get done this year?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is first of all making playoffs. Second would be having a top 4 seed so we can host at least a playoff game, and our ultimate goal is to win the championship. So that's the ultimate goal. Personally, I want to stay healthy this year. It's been nice to have a full preseason. Haven't had that since 2021 actually. So yeah, the last 2 years I had to basically start from scratch in the middle of the season. So it's been nice to get a full preseason in and be healthy and fit going into the first game. So I think just maintaining that for me and being available every game is my big goal. And then I think the rest will come from that.
Awesome. Welcome back, Brian. So my question for you first off is last week we had Seth on the show, and he's the second longest tenured player on Orange County. I believe you are the most tenured player currently in Orange County, and you've played with a lot of fantastic players. However, I want to know so far this season, who on the incoming group of players, sorry if my question is a little scattered, who on the incoming group of players is going to have the biggest impact moving into this year? Just throw one out there.
It's a tricky question. Tough question. Put me on the spot.
I know, Brad.
Right.
You're like making you're gonna make his one teammate happy, and the rest of the teammates.
Yeah,
are
I'm
like,
gonna show.
"Man,
I'm
why
gonna
not
show up to the
me?"
locker
All right,
room tomorrow.
I won't put you on the spot then, Brian.
I'm gonna show up to the locker room tomorrow. Just get hounded by.
Okay, how about this? I'll swap it up. Being that I'm in Vegas, I'm gonna set the over/under for you, goals plus assists on
Over.
12.5. We're hitting the over. Didn't even need to hear it.
Look, he flustered Brad with that. You were so quick to respond. Brad is not ready to ask another question. That's awesome, Brian. I love it.
No, so you know what? You're right. I am flustered. I don't know where to go from there. DK, please take it away from me.
All right, I got you, Brad. I got you. One of the things that stood out to I think me and a lot of fans from last season was how fantastic your free kicks were towards the end of the season last year. I think every time that you stepped up to take a free kick, all of us expected to start celebrating. So is that something that you are kind of pushing more for in your growth this season, or are your focus elsewhere on the pitch?
I think that is definitely a part of it. Not only scoring, but corner kicks and wide free kicks, setting up my teammates, putting good service in the box for them as well. But yeah, again, I just have a lot more confidence this year just because I got a full preseason in and my body feels great going into the first game. That's why I said over so quickly. I feel good personally, and yeah, one of the aspects of that is free kicks. I've been able to practice hitting so many balls in preseason, whereas, I wasn't able to do that until after the 10th, 11th, 12th game last year. Even then, I had to maintain my body. I couldn't overhit a lot of balls after training. I couldn't work on those extra aspects of my game. It takes a lot of work to get the free kick, especially like this, and any free kicking scoring range. It takes a lot to get that down. To go up and over the wall with enough pace, but also to not hit it over is challenging. So, I've been working on that, and it's definitely a part of my game that I work on, and that I want to maintain a certain level. So, yeah, I hope to score at least a couple more this year, and
That's awesome. Yeah, and set pieces can be crucial. I think everybody knows that, and we're excited to see it. One last question here for you from me is something I asked Seth last week, probably going to be asking a couple other players, the ones that are returning here, is how important for you as a player was it that Morten Carlson, signed back as head coach this season?
Yeah, I think it was important just to keep what we had at the end of last year. We went out earlier than we wanted, but leading up to that, we went on I think it was a 9-game win streak and had a lot of success down the stretch. So bringing him back and keeping just the same culture around, bringing back a lot of the same players is big. It helps us grow now. I feel like we're able to start higher than what we would be able to if we brought in a bunch of new players and a new staff and everything. I feel like we'd be starting from scratch again. So it's nice to build off of what we had at the end of last year. And then obviously bringing in new pieces helps implement them to our game as well. So I think it only helps us grow more.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely. And we're all really excited to see you. There's going to be a good handful of us in Sacramento just in a couple weeks. So
awesome.
Look out for us singing your song.
Where are you guys going to sit?
I believe section 120. So hopefully a little bit closer to
yeah, I'll remember that
field.
120.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll be there. We'll be singing. We got you.
He's already planning his celebration when he scores one of those.
I'm trying to figure out
where you can go.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you just boogie woogie and we'll sing for you. So
that's good. Awesome.
All right. So we got a couple of fan questions. The first one for you is from Cameron, one of our good friends here at the Orange Black Soccer Cast. And that is, how do you feel that your game has changed as you've gotten older?
It's a good question.
And we're not saying you're old yet, Brian. You're not at Seth level, but
I feel like my activity off the ball has gotten better. Just certain movements that I've just repeated over and over off the ball, and then when we don't have the ball as a team, so defensively, I feel like I've gotten just more. I've brought more intensity as far as having an impact without the ball.
All right, and then our next question comes from Julie on Facebook. What are some of your pregame music selections that you'd like to choose?
Just got into country, actually, so it's not your typical hype music, but keeps me calm and settles me down. So,
can you clarify what kind of country?
A little Morgan Wallen,
classic country, or like more new modern country.
A little Morgan Wallen, a little newer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question, and this is going back to the free kicks really quick, because we know you like to take, and we also know that Marcus Knockin likes to take free kicks when the opportunity comes. If it's down there and you both think you have the best opportunity. By the way, if you're not watching the live stream, we're seeing a classic picture here of Mr. Brian Iloski back in his UCLA days. Brian, you ever think, before I get to the free kick question, we see the picture, ever thought of going back to that hairstyle?
Yeah, I actually have.
Season?
What
do you think? Would your wife let you? That's the big question. That's the important question.
You want me to grow out a mullet again?
Maybe last year.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
You don't know if you'll get the permission to do that, huh?
No.
Let me get to that free kick question. Is obviously you and Marcus both like to take free kicks, and if you both go up there thinking you have the best shot at it, who's winning the argument and getting to take that kick?
I think it all depends on the distance and the angles, and if it's on the right or left, if it's 30 yards out, if it's 22, 23 yards out. So we're usually pretty cordial about them, and not too many arguments that go out on the field. I feel like we have like a good understanding of who's going to take which free kicks, like certain free kicks on the field.
And just a random question to sort of go along with this: who's better, your right foot or Marcus's left foot?
It's another good question.
And we'll have to see we'll have to maybe get a video proving it, whatever answer you go with. We'll have
I don't
to
know. You know,
organize a video.
the crazy thing, I really haven't seen him like shoot at all with his left foot, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. But him being a defender, I feel like I haven't seen him actually shoot, like do a shooting drill and shoot the ball with his left foot. But he can hit pings pretty well with his left foot. So I would say passing wise, like passing range, I'll go with him. But if it's a shot on goal, I'll go with myself.
Perfect. We always like to give an opportunity for people to throw out a local business suggestion, whether it's a restaurant, coffee shop, or something like that. Is there any local businesses that you like to support and that you'd like to share with our listeners?
Not off the top of my head.
Not off the top of your head?
No.
Coffee shop or a restaurant you like to grab a bite to eat?
Talk about your dog, Brian.
Organic Tree Cafe.
Organic Tree Cafe. See, this guy is doing it right. He knows you got someone there to help you out. Go and get the help, right?
Yeah. Phone a friend. In Dana Point.
Dana Point Organic Tree Cafe. So that's a place that Brian and I'm just gonna I hate to assume, but I'm just gonna say it's your new wife that's giving you this information, right?
Yes.
All right. I didn't want to assume anything, but I just wanted to make sure I'm giving the proper credit where it's due there. Last thing, Dylan tried to mention it here. Tell us about this dog.
Yeah, got a new puppy.
What is it? What
Get
kind of
some
breed?
proof, Ooh, I think we're gonna get
lovers
to see
on the
it.
show.
Yes, we want to see. We want to see. Oh my
Oh
god!
my god!
She's sleeping.
Hello.
A little mini
Oh,
golden doodle.
Best content you can have right there.
Yeah.
I think we all are falling in love with that dog. That's a beautiful pup.
Yeah,
right
just
there.
got her last weekend. Had her for about 10 days now. So
What's
her name?
Any accident? Oh, go ahead. Name first.
Belle.
Belle.
Good.
And then how many accidents has she had?
Quite a few. Yeah.
The love of getting a puppy is the whole potty training thing. I know Brad.
Yeah, I've been on my hands
recently.
and knees scrubbing away quite a bit.
And then what do you do to the dog? Like, do you have to like sort of give a little stern punishment lecture, or you just can't do it? It's such a
No, actually,
animal.
she's pretty. We got her to be pretty well potty trained already. So
Good job.
yeah, we pick her up. So if she goes in the house, we'll pick her up and put her outside where she's supposed to go, and like just let her know like this is where you go. But no, nothing stern or anything like that. Yeah, she's a little confused at first, but it's getting the hang of it. So
awesome! Congratulations on the new puppy. Congratulations on the marriage and newlyweds. Congratulations to both of you. Last comment, anything you want to say to the fans that are either going to be there this weekend, I believe, for the preseason stuff going on, or for the road opener in Sacramento, or the upcoming home opener? What do you have to share with the fans? What do you want from them?
Yeah, a lot of exciting games coming up. I mean, first, this Saturday is going to be. It's a friendly, but it's an important game for us to gear up for the season. So we're going to treat it as a real game and looking forward to seeing whoever can make it. And then the road season opener at Sacramento is going to be a great game. We got them there last year in Sacramento in front of 23,000, I think. So and we know that they're going to be coming in hard, and yeah, looking forward to anyone that can make it to that game. It's going to be great. When's the home opener? I think March 23rd, something like that. So yeah, can't wait to play in the stadium again. Feels like it's been forever, so looking forward to that as well. So really excited.
I believe the fans are all looking forward to as well. Just to clarify, you were, I believe, correct. March 23rd, home opener against Miami FC at Championship Soccer Stadium. But the first two matches are on the road. First in Sacramento on the 9th, and then Pittsburgh on the 16th. Hopefully, y'all are gonna come home with 6 points, open the season there against Miami, and get another 3 points for a total of 9 in the first 3 matches.
Yeah,
Brian, as always, we appreciate you taking some time to come speak with us. Looking forward to a great season from not just you, but from this team. And hopefully we'll get to talk some exciting stuff here with you in the near future.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Brian. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Brian Iloski, midfielder for your Orange County Soccer Club. Let's get into this.
Did you think you were going to get puppy content? Did you think you were getting how does Brian Iloski discipline his dog or potty train his dog? Again, this is why I said we're in mid-season form, because this is just awful content. Except for the dog. Dylan, that was great content.
You're the one negative one here. It's not awful content. This is preseason, just like the team is doing a preseason to get prepared for the regular season. This is our preseason form right here. We're getting ramped up for when the regular season happens. So that's what this is all about. Was it perfect this episode? No, but when have we ever done a perfect episode? You tell me, Dylan.
When you're not here.
Oof.
See, I don't know, Dylan. Last week was pretty great, and you weren't there, so.
Well, maybe it's probably both of us. Let's be honest.
Oh, thank you for the help there, DK, or the having my back there.
Somebody's got to throw it back at him.
Let's talk about. I had something in mind, and this whole conversation threw me off. So we're just going to go into our next portion of this, which is going to be, what did we learn this episode? Dylan wasn't here last week, so he doesn't know what this is all about. But basically, Dylan, just so you know, we're just going to share something that we learned during this episode, whether it was from Brian, from each other, whatever it was. So we'll let you think of something because you probably weren't prepared for this.
I'm ready to go.
Okay, Dylan, what did you learn in this episode?
I learned that Brian Iloski is not a stern dog parent. He seems like he's doing it right.
There we go. Let's go to Brad.
All right. I learned this week that I get pretty flustered pretty quick when someone responds to my questions before I've even finished asking them, But that's not a slight on Brian, He's coming in, he's confident, which is what we want to see out of our players. But, man, as soon as he responded before I was even done, I was like, what do I do next?
There we go. So we learned Brad learned that he gets flustered if someone answers too quickly or in the middle of his question, really is what it is. DK, what did you learn in this episode?
Yeah, I mean, I learned that Brian's really confident, which kind of mirrors what Seth was saying last week as well. Great to see that the squad is really confident about what we can do. I think this is the second time in a row we've heard top 4 for the season, which is fantastic. And that we're going to see a lot more free kick bangers from Brian Iloski this year.
And what did I learn? I learned that I'm not the only one that's really excited about the kits that Orange County is going to be getting this year. And I also learned that Orange County really is taking the Open Cup seriously for 2024, which, again, I think there's been a lot of nerves around USL Championship Soccer as to whether the teams in the league are still sort of on board with the Open Cup, with all the weird cluster mess that's going on with that. All right, time for everyone's favorite portion of the show. It's going to be our random thoughts. These random thoughts can be soccer related, non-soccer related, whatever you want to talk about. I'm going to go last. I'm claiming the last spot on this one, but if anyone wants to go first, I will let you all volunteer. If not, I'll just pick someone at random. All right, Dylan, you go first.
Oh, wow. I was going to say that Brad sure looked ready. And God, I hope it's some puppy content. I just wanted to shout out Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. As Ray has let the world know a little bit, it's kind of a local brewery these days for me. Their commitment towards treating the earth well is obviously something, as a piece of hippie trash, something I'm all about. Otherwise, I'm excited to see all of you who are going to make it up here on the 9th.
Oh, what about you, Brad?
Well, I brought puppy content. This again is Wendy. She has a beef trachea this week as a treat, and no,
Delicious.
I know she enjoys it. No, she still from time to time goes. So I totally get what Brian's saying about pups in the house and the apartment and rushing them outside. But my album this week is just an old class. I hate calling it old because I'm really dating myself, but this is, every teenager in the millennial ages therapy track, I guess is what you can call this. Is Linkin Park's Midnights to Midnight. Definitely had a bunch of mixed emotions to that growing up to as a kid.
Random just Linkin Park thing here is one time I was at a bowling alley in Orange, California, and Chester was bowling right next to us with a group of kids. And I didn't quite recognize him at first, but my friend who was like the biggest Linkin Park fan pointed it out. I'm like, oh yeah, that is exactly who that is. So rest in peace to that gentleman. Yes.
Please tell me that you let him live his life like a normal person and did not go over. Okay, awesome. I hate.
We didn't bother him. He was bowling with a group of kids. I don't know the relationship or whatever, but it looked like it was just a fun private event that was going on, and we just looked, and we maybe tried to get a quick little picture, but other than that, we didn't talk to him. We didn't bother him. We just let him do his thing. I'm not that person that wants to go bother a celebrity while they're living a normal life, which I know that's hard for a lot of celebrities. So DK, random thought from you.
Random thought for me, if for those who don't know, I'm a huge film buff. So every now and then when I'm on here, I will promote some film that I have seen. And since the Oscars are coming up, I wanted to promote a big Oscar snub that didn't get any nominations, but was a fantastic film from 2023. It is called All of Us Strangers. It is a beautiful and devastating movie that I think everybody can get a lot out of from watching. And luckily, one of the big reasons I'm mentioning it now is because it just started streaming on Hulu. So if you have Hulu, you can check it out easily. All of Us Strangers from 2023. Check it out because the Oscars missed that one.
All right, so DK, I'm going to call you out on this. I know you just did your random thought. Who's going to be the big winner from at the Oscars this year?
I think Cillian Murphy is the shoo-in for Best Actor. Personally, I love Paul Giamatti in The Holdovers, and I think the race just stands between them two. But I think this is Cillian Murphy's year. I think he really deserves it from his whole career, as well as I'm really, really hoping Lily Gladstone from Killers of the Flower Moon gets the Best Actress award because that performance shook me. And I can't wait to see her go up on that stage and thank not only everybody in her life, but Native Americans everywhere for pushing her to do this.
Awesome. Thank you for giving your thoughts on that, even though you weren't prepared probably for it. But thank you for that. My random thought on a little bit more of a serious note, please, everyone, talk to your kids, talk to them about bullying and how it's not the right thing to do. Talk to them and make sure that they're either not being bullied or that they are not bullying others in their life. A lot of times you're going to have to really dig and talk to the kids. You can't just ask, hey, do you get bullied? No. Okay, that's fine. No, you got to actually talk to your kids about what's going on in their life. We have a family friend that we found out recently was being bullied and now is receiving online threats or online bullying from this person. So it's something that happens. It still happens, even though I know there's a lot of messages and a lot of hope to stop it. But just, talk to your kids, talk to people, just make sure everyone's in a good state and make sure bullying isn't a big issue, because although we like to sort of think it isn't and that everything's fine, there's still a lot of bullying that goes on, especially with social media and the ability to do so sort of not face to face. So, yep, please do that. Thank you so much. With that said, hey, Dylan, as much as you think this was a failure of an episode, our producer Andy's going to applaud us for, even though we started late and we're only doing about 56 minutes, we're still under the hour time frame that our show should be live. So we did it. I appreciate everyone that listened and participated in our show, to our guest, Brian Iloski, and to each and every one of you that helped out today with Brad, DK, Dylan, and producer Andy. Hey, this is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, and we are out.